Reminder of your top stories. Gauteng Police Commissioner Elias Mawela has confirmed that a 12th suspect in the deadly Rosettenville shooting has been arrested today. 8 suspects were shot dead while others were arrested during the deadly exchange of fire. So far, 11 suspects have appeared in courts on various charges, while 4 officers sustained injuries. Mawela issued a stern warning to those still on the run.
Early hours of this morning, I was informed that another one is arrested. What is disturbing again is that a police uniform was also found in his possession. In him, we found a gun, unlicensed gun, police and ammunition, police uniform, the combat clothes like the one which I'm wearing, of junior members. But I'm so grateful with what our team is doing. They are not resting and they are continue to can search for the others. And we have made the message very clear to them that they have a choice to hand themselves over or will come and fetch them. The net is gradually closing on them wherever they are.
Staying with Gauteng crime stats, Mawela says while the province has recorded a decrease in contact crimes, serious crimes such as murders continue to increase. The province has recorded the highest number of murders in the past 5 years.
Although we have recorded a significant decrease of this category by 4.5%, which is translating to 2,181 counts, lower in comparison with the same period in 2020-2021. We are deeply worried about other serious crimes that fall under this category, such as murder, attempted murder, as well as robbery aggravating, as they all remain stubbornly high. Especially robbery aggravating, Chairperson, it is of biggest concern for us because this is a crime of fear. This is what makes the people of Gauteng to can not feel safe because of this robbery aggravating. Murder during this period under review, 243 more people were killed in Gauteng, which reflect an increase by 18.3%. This is the highest increase in the last 5 years.
For more on this, we are joined by the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety, Honourable Alphina Ndlovana. Honourable Ndlovana, very good evening. Good to speak to you. Reading those stats, it is suggested, in fact, it is pretty clear that Gauteng is the unsafest place in the country. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to respond on the stats presented by the Provincial Commissioner. From the point of view of the committee, in terms of the stats, particularly in certain crime categories, the increase give us a major concern with regard to some of those crime activities. Like what the Provincial Commissioner was saying, in terms of the increase of the murder in Gauteng with the 18.3% is a major concern to us. As a committee, then we said that we'll have to sit down and come with a strategy on how to do oversight on those top 30 police stations who are appearing in the national crime stats.
Ma'am, I mean, you talk about coming up with a strategy on how to deal with these issues. For the last 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, the numbers have continued to increase. Surely a strategy should have been thought of 5 years ago, not now, because this is not a new thing.
Yes, that is not a new thing. The strategy is there. We'll have to review it to be in line with what is happening currently in the province. We should bear in mind that some of the murder increase is due to the fights and unemployment rates within the family, which makes the violence between the partners.
Well, ma'am, maybe talk to us about the strategy. What is that strategy that is currently in place?
The strategy which is in place, in terms of the fighting the crime around the Gauteng or around the country, the strategy is divided into 5 pillars. one of the pillars is to mobilize the community to address the issue of the crime or murder. It should not be a matter of the SAPS. It should be a joint integrated event in terms of helping the police to handle crime around the country. There are 4 pillars, and the second one is to make people to report illegal matters which they are seeing around the areas which they are staying. I'll just highlight the 2, which is usually affect people, community members around the area which they are staying.
Well, some of the issues that you are discussing obviously speak to the Community Safety Oversight Bill, which was put out, well, a call was put out, I think, late last year. What has the response been from the public?
With regard to the response being to the public with that safety bill, most of the community members, society want to see that criminal justice should be more efficiently and effectively. And the other thing is that they are requesting that there should be a reduction of crime through environmental design. If you see that a lot of people are staying in squalors and the design of the community or of the area doesn't allow even the police or the vehicle of the police officers to be able to reach an area where crime is reported.
Now, we've had a number of reactions to Police Commissioner Kehla Sithola's firing or mutual agreement to have his contract terminated with the president coming up in March. And a number of those reactions have come from individuals that are well pleased with the fact that he's being relieved of his duties, almost suggesting that he was an individual who was incapable of doing the work that he was set out to do. Are you confident that the current police force has capacity to deal with these levels of crime?
Yes, I'll be saying that most of them have the capacity to deal with the issues of crime, and they are attending ongoing training with regard to changing the way to handle issues related to the crime around them. Like the example of the Rosenville issue. That was an integrated matter which was discussed and come with a strategy and have a different people with different capacity to handle that.
Well, certainly that's a feather in the cap of SAPS, if you will. Now, reading about the National Crime Prevention Strategy, one of the things that it speaks of is that certain causes of crime are deep-rooted and related to the history and socioeconomic realities of our society. How are you or the police force or the government tackling those deep-rooted issues?
Well, that it will depend on the different provinces in terms of how to handle it. But from the national point of view, there should be an issue of police to be professional in terms of tackling the issues, so that they should be able to combat and have an approach to combat crime and also have tactical response on those different issues.
Final thoughts, Honourable Ndlovana, around gender-based violence. And obviously it is one of those crimes that, in fact, the President has described as a pandemic. What efforts are being made to deal with these crimes?
Yeah, with regard to the gender-based violence, as the President have said, that is the second pandemic. I will relate the issue to Gauteng, as I'm the chair of Gauteng. In Gauteng, for the department to be able to handle gender-based violence, they've introduced the gender-based brigade, where they are assisting the police because they are linked to the police precinct in terms of discussing with the different community members or with regard to the issues of how to handle issues of sexual offenses and how to handle issues of gender-based violence. And the other issue is to further have an outreach program, encourage the society to be part of the committees which are dealing with issues related to gender-based violence.
Honourable Alphina Ndlovana is Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety for Gauteng. Thank you for your time this evening.